What's up, Unstoppable Squad? Today we have another WWE NXT full show results. We're under yellow lights. I'm Unstoppable Denominator. So, as of this recording, I thought this section might get into Carmelo Hayes and the Judgment Day. There's an hook there related to Judgment Day's current drama. The state of the NXT Championship and WWE truly interrogating NXT into bigger storylines with bigger wrestlers. Like I reported here on this channel that WWE is planning on just bringing the main roster people over to NXT to help them get ratings, and NXT people to go up onto the main roster to get boost up ratings as well. But and we'll do that next week. But Braun Breaker's promo that ended the show caught my attention. Besides the meta component that I think WWE does too much but nailed here. It showed Braun's growth. I can't imagine Braun cutting this relatively calm promo a few months ago. Not even when he made his heel turn. This built on his Raw promo last month. He showed menace, clarity, conviction, and used the audience's reaction. The long and short of it, Braun saw no new mountains. He climbed every peak, in his match with Seth Rollins crystallized it all for him. While we never heard his ultimate point, I don't need many guesses to figure it out. He wants a new challenge, but clearly forgot about someone he attacked many moons ago. Ilja Dragunov. Ilja and Braun never got to tangle because Dijak filled up Ilja or something dance card for quite a while. Ilja wanted the NXT Championship and saw Braun standing in his way. Ilja seems less concerned about roadblocks and pathways at the moment and just wants to fight the man who jumped him. I feel that. How this feud plays out ultimately tells us a lot. Braun believes he's the big fish in a small pond. If Ilja defeats him, then he's at least one of several big fish in the same pond. It's a weird if guy's whole story revolves around him moving on, only for someone to come along and say otherwise, and might cut off Braun's leg before he even finds them on the main roster. But what about Ilja? He clearly wants the NXT Championship eventually, but I'm not sure losing a big feud with Braun strengthens his argument for a match with the champ down the line. That also touches on something related to Melo and the Judgment Day, but I'm saving that. I see lots of potential here between these two, and I really have no idea how it plays out, but it feels important and possibly a crossroads for both men. It's wild in what the Creed bros do in the ring. Julius Creed's explodes needs no further ink, but Brutus does more than just drop bombs. This week he hit a picture springboard somersault splash in their do or die match against the Died. or dead, or whatever you want to call them. He also took a mean spill out of the ring when the Dade turned him inside out in a semi-doomsday device on the outside of the ring. Excuse me. Sorry. It's moves like that combined with the storytelling ability. Julius worked a bad knee this week. That shows why they're leaving NXT for presumably Raw or SmackDown. Make no mistake, the thing is, they should have saved this until SummerSlam weekend or something. Because why move them up now? Wait until the SummerSlam. Or you should have moved them. You should have had this a while ago, when the call-ups were happening. They cheated for this W. A masked man emerged from the crowd and butted heads with Julius. So someone's using quotes because Joe Gacy's absence felt conspiracies. Well, the thing is, we don't even know who the masked man is. They didn't reveal who it was, and we're gonna talk about Joe Gacy here in a minute. It's time for Julius Brutus and Diamond Mine resemble a shell of its former self for quite some time. This also gives Ivy Nile more time for her own story and more character development, which is great for her in NXT Women's Division. Yeah, but the thing is, she might be being called up as well with them. The Creed Boys add a different degree of homicide to the main roster tag team scene on the mic and in the ring. The energy feels different compared with everyone else's, and their moveset breaks the mold a bit as well. Sorry. Props to Julius and Brutus. Can't wait to see where they land and what they will be doing. Roxanne Perez and Blair Davenport on the ropes. Almost literally, but not quite. Roxanne started the match before the bell rang, which longtime readers and reporters know. I know that. It shows urgency and establishes personal stakes in a beef. It's appropriate for Roxanne and Blair because these two really don't like each other, and Roxanne owed Blair several receipts. They only got about 15 minutes in, but they did their thing within that time frame. Despite early advantage, Roxanne let her emotions get the best of her at one crucial moment. And that's the difference in that match for both characters. Roxanne is all emotion, while Blair plays things cool and calculated. Both women got physical, and that played into the ending as well when Blair repeatedly kneed Roxanne in the head and got the W. Solid affair that sets the table for more. Baron Corbin is done with the gimmicks after last week. He pretty much is throwing all his gimmicks in the fire. He threw the King Corbin in the fire. He threw in the Happy Corbin in the fire. He dipped back into the Lone Wolf personnel, and it paid no dividends. So he wants to find something new and ditch everything we know about him. He's tired of his status as just good. And even through the reference about burning it all, the boots, and no going back, Fun times and props for the line. We all knew this, right? Mustafa Ali wants his shot at Wesley, and he challenged the North American champion this week after defeating Tyler Bate in a very dope match. These two work well together, but I also presume we got more coming from Tyler on this front. Sorry, excuse me. No way he just lets this title shot happen, right? I'm asking a lot of questions because, could we see a triple threat here? Of course, I think we might see that, but the thing is, when will that lead up into a triple threat? I definitely see a triple threat because Tyler Bate is going to be jealous of Mustafa Ali getting a title shot with Wes Lee. And Wes Lee, tag team partners from Impact are now Impact again together. So do you think he could lose it and his contract be expiring and he could be going back to the back to Impact, or is he just going to go to the main roster? So that's one thing, a lot of questions I have right now because, with Wesley's tag team partners from Impact are back together, the Rascals, and they only need one more person to complete the whole thing of the Rascals. But anyways, Kaylani Jordan impressed with her gymnast background. It'll take some time to truly get into her rhythm, flow, and character. But she showed promise against the Tatum Paxley. And the way she hit the Stun Dog Millionaire made everyone happy. I don't know if she gains anything siding with Dana Brooke at this point, because Dana Brooke is probably going to be there just to have a feud against her and stuff down the road. We'll see how this works out. Cora Jade challenged Kalina back afterward, while also insulting Dana because of her, of course. The match with Jordan happens on Cora's time, though. And then the thing is, she wasn't dressed ready to fight anyway, so apparently her time is next week or something. Next, I never really had a thing about Raw Underground. It had nothing interesting. When it came on TV, I pretty much just went and did what I had to do. Because when I first watched Raw Underground on Monday Night Raw, it was so boring. I was like, you know what? It's not even worth watching this. So when it kept coming on Raw, I was like, alright, screw this. I'm just going to go do what I want to do. But anyways, I really like the atmosphere that contributed to the violence as Eddie Thorpe and Damon Kemp fought. I don't even know how to explain it, although I will point out Gabe Stevenson thinking his gold medals held magical powers like a Mario mushroom is the weirdest thing that I ever seen in a quite of some time. The suplex showcase Gabe engaged in the following Eddie's TKO added to that balance. Just look at the highlights on NXT. That's really wild. I don't know, maybe it's just in a good moment this week. I got nothing for as the Don Turns Stacks visited Tony D'Angelo this week and denied betraying the Don. He said he made a deal with Joe Coffey that he said works for all of them. If he beats Joe next week, all charges against the Don go away. If he loses, then the Don stays in jail until trial. As Tony absolutely pointed out, that's basically 3-on-1, which makes me start thinking someone returns and helps Stacks, or perhaps 2 Dimes, because this looks like an easy win for Coffey and Gallus. The story is getting a little too goofy for me as it is right now. I'm not gonna lie, it is. So hopefully they land this plane sooner rather than later. Lyra Valkyrie is showing promise. Well, here we go. The thing is, if Stacks actually wins against Joe Coffey, right? Just think about it. If he does win and Don comes back and gets out of jail, right? I see Stacks definitely turning on him. So, and joins the Coffeys. Lyra Valkyrie is showing promise. She had her thoughts along the way, but never really put it together. This feud with JC Jane might do wonders for her as it relates to her character and in-ring skill. They didn't get a lot of time this week since the feud is no way over. But Lyra picked up the first W in Chapter 1. The NXT champ chooses violence. He invited the Judgment Day to NXT next week, and Finn Balor responded in the affirmative. I doubt he comes alone, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'm still not on the Von Wagner train because this is just kind of stupid in my eyes. But I do give the man his due for getting over. Von demolished Big Body Javi this week after Big Body talked trash. Why would you call yourself Big Body? You're not big. The crowd loved it and seemed fully on board the Von Express. But this also tends to me the fact that, Robert Stone doesn't really like the fact Robert Stone didn't want him to do what he was doing. So pretty much I do definitely see Von Wagner ditching Rob Stone. But anyways, solid show packed with plenty of storytelling. Not all of it worked for me, the Family Gallus saga, but most of it did. Plus, we got a big farewell to the Bedrock NXT tag team. The Creeds left their mark in a hell of a final match in the territory. Next week looks hot as well. So what are you excited for? Let me know in the comments below what you want to see for NXT and next week. And what do you think of NXT this week? I'm Unstoppable. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys possibly for some news later today. And I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to Blonde and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.